yesterday I talked about few elements. So we saw the first 20 elements. Am I right or no? So the first 10 elements I wrote you yesterday. Those are hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and fluorine. Right? Now, so let's look at first the beryllium and boron actually looks like this. Okay, so they both are in solid state. Okay, and I'm also going to show you other elements. And this is an element. Okay, and last one that I'm going to say you is this is carbon dioxide. Use solid carbon dioxide. Okay, so carbon dioxide can exist in only two states. One is gaseous state and the other is solid state. So the one that I'm showing you now is solid carbon dioxide. Okay, yes. So these are all the different elements and how they appear like. So sulfur, it appears like it's an yellow color. Generally, so that looks like this in greenish yellow. Okay, this is in gaseous state and this is in solid state. Fine. Now, we were seeing about first 10 elements yesterday. Am I right on it? And I also told you that elements combine to form compounds. And when elements combine, they also form mixtures. Okay, but elements combine in fixed proportion. Elements will combine in fixed proportion to form a compound. An element combines in variable proportion. Okay, they form mixtures. So when elements combine in fixed proportion, they form compound. And when the same element combine in variable proportion, they form mixtures. Clear? Yes. Now, the next thing that we are going to see is, as far as the element and compound is concerned with, how does an element combine to form that we have to know. Okay, so that's what I'm going to say. We saw that element, compound, mixture, everything is made up of atoms. So first and foremost thing that we are going to see today is how does an atom look like, or what is present in an atom. So first take an atom. Okay, the atom, if you say, it has a nucleus in the center. Surrounding the nucleus, there are orbits. And in the orbits, you have electrons. So I have told three terms, new terms today. Nucleus. And the next one is orbit. And the last one is your electron. So it has a nucleus, it has an orbit, and it also has electron. Okay. So it's similar to the solar system. Like you have the sun in the center, and surrounding it, you have your planets, right? So similarly, here you have nucleus in the center. Surrounding the nucleus, you have orbit, and in that orbit, you find the electron. Next thing, how each atom, all the atoms have a nucleus or an electron. Okay. If every is orbit and an electron, how does you distribution one atom and the other? Hydrogen element. Hydrogen is an element, I already told you. This hydrogen element is made up of only hydrogen atoms. Okay, and if you take another element called helium, the helium element is the helium atoms. Clear? So how does how does an helium? You understand how a hydrogen atom and helium atom looks. You can. What is the element hydrogen and helium? Clear? Yes. Now we'll see how an atom is. So I told you that you have a nucleus and surrounding the nucleus orbit orbit, I have my electron. This is the thing. Now, when surrounding the nucleus, that orbit you have electron. I'll have to understand. An atom. In an atom, I have an atom. I'll have to understand. So not only in the number of electrons, but also in the constituents of. So generally, your nucleus proton. Nucleus has proton. What do you mean by proton and neutron? So, 2, 3, we have a nucleus. In the nucleus, you have orbit. In orbit, my electrons are reversed. This is what I told you, right? Inside the nucleus, I have proton and neutron. Okay, so inside the nucleus, what do I have? One is proton and the other is clear. Okay, so yes, inside the nucleus, I have proton that I am representing it in yellow color, and also the neutron that I am representing in white color. Clear? And surrounding that, I had my orbit. In that orbit, I take in blue color. So electron is in blue color, white color, and yellow color. Clear? All atom has proton, electron. You understand? Each has its own charge. Like the charge of proton is positive charge. Charge of negative charge. Neutron doesn't have any. Clear? Okay. You can ask me, when an element from outside, the element from outside have any, you cannot see any atoms here. Am I right or not? Different. So that it is made up of atoms. When you look at the element, do we see it evolving outside, or do we see a nucleus or an RBC? Okay, so have atoms inside. See, when you cannot see how a cell looks like. I mean, it is quite invisible. It is very, very, very similarly the structural and functional unit of life. You all have studied about it. So when these combine, they form tissue. Similarly, they are much more smaller than cells. The cells itself is made up of atoms. So it will be very small. When you cannot see cell that you, it is very difficult for you to see atoms. But atom, the most fundamental is existing in the universe. The sun. Inside the sun, we strike. One is hydrogen nuclei and the other is hydrogen nuclei, helium nuclei, bombard nucleus. அப்போ நம்ம நியூக்ளியஸ்னு ஒரு இல்லையா சோ அப்போ ஒரு நியூக்ளியஸ் ஒன்னோட ஒன்னு இடிச்சு they will bombard with each other. What happens in the sun? Of energy. So the stars in mountains. Clear? So we have to be very, very small. Okay? But only if we study about it, we have to know how the elements are reacting. How does it look like? Why is what? You see, impure water can conduct current. Yes or no? And you can see the copper wire that we use. Copper wire can conduct. So all these are able to conduct current. Why? Because of that Hello. Fine. Students, listen here. Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Sir, are the students able to hear me? Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yeah,
Now it's audible, ma'am.
So for how long was it inaudible?
What, ma'am?
Hello. For how long was it inaudible, sir?
Just 2 or 3 minutes. Ma'am, or 2 or 3 minutes sir. Yeah. Okay, நீங்க screen share பண்ணுங்க, ma'am. Start பண்ணுங்க. Yeah.
Yes. Listen, students. We will the particular metal is able to conduct current, but plastic current. So copper metal is able to conduct, glass is not able to conduct. It's because of the electron. If you take copper metal, this copper metal is made up of copper atoms, right or not? These copper atoms, they are able to conduct current because of the electron present in the atom. I already told you about the structure of them. You have nucleus in the center, so I'm having orbit. I'm having electrons. I have to. So these electrons that is revolving around the nucleus are the major reason which decides the property of a element. Clear? So the electron flow will make the copper to conduct current. Plastic here in the electron flow irukadu. Appo when there is no electron flow in the plastic, it cannot conduct current. Hope it's clear. So next thing that we are going to see is this is not only about the copper and also about other metals. Even iron, if you take, your iron can conduct current because of the free electrons. Iron has free electrons in it. Iron can lose electrons. Iron atom will give the electrons also. So they are able to conduct current. So these are the decider of the property. So electrons are the property decider of an element. Okay. So now I guess you understand the importance of studying about the structure of an atom. Now, let's look at the structure of hydrogen. Now, when you look at the structure of hydrogen, you have a nucleus. At the center of the nucleus, you have a proton. Okay. So, you have one proton at the center of the nucleus. Clear? And in the first orbit, you have one electron. So, hydrogen has one proton in the nucleus and one electron. It doesn't have any no news. Clearly, if you take helium has two protons, two neutrons. Has two neutrons. I have nucleus inside you have and surrounding you have electrons. Similarly, in I have a nucleus in the center. Center of one any new. If you take helium, center of the nucleus, I have two protons, two neutrons. Here, the center of the nucleus, I'm having protons and two neutrons. And in the first orbit, I'm having two electrons. Clear? So we are going to do a recap. Okay? We were seeing about how the atoms look like. Am I right or no? Atom has a center. Inside the nucleus, what do I have? Protons and neutrons. And surrounding the nucleus, what do I have? I have my electrons. Okay, these are the electrons surrounding the nucleus. So this is one thing. Next. Let me take hydrogen again. So what did I say you? Hydrogen, you have one proton and one electron. Clear? So if it has one proton and one electron, proton will be present inside the nucleus. So first I draw the nucleus. Inside the nucleus, I'm having one proton. Clear? One proton, I'm just writing proton, I'm representing it as P, and I'm writing one proton. Surrounding that, I'm having one electron. Clear? Similarly, next what we saw is about helium. So in helium, if you see, the atomic number is, I'm sorry, in helium, if you see, you have the nucleus. So you have two protons in helium, two neutrons, and two electrons. Clear? So you have two protons and two electrons. See, first I have a nucleus inside the nucleus. Where is P present? It is present in the nucleus. Protons is okay, two protons. And how many neutrons will I have? Two neutrons are also present. Then what do I have? Two electrons. So that electrons are present in the orbit, the two electrons in the orbit. So this is how the structure of atom will look like. Now, we're going to see some other thing. What is anything that we have to see is we're going to remember. I have 100%. How many elements are 118 elements? Yep, so we have just seen am I right or no? Seen the atom structure of hydrogen and helium. I think it's a very tedious process to remember the structures of elements. So that was discovered to remember the number of protons in electrons. So how am I going to remember? To remember with the help of us. One is atomic number. Clear? About atomic number. Now, so element hydrogen. Then what did I say? Helium, lithium, beryllium, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. Correct? So, as the atomic number of hydrogen is 1. Atomic number of helium is 2. Lithium 3. Beryllium 4. Boron 5. Carbon 6. Nitrogen 7. Oxygen 8. Fluorine 9. Neon. What atomic number? This atomic number, if I say that atomic element is 2, I say or the atom will have 2 protons. So atom represents the number of protons in an atom. So atomic number represents the number of protons. Clear? So atom number will tell me about the number of protons in an atom. Now, if I have atomic number is 1, how many have the number of protons? So hydrogen will proton has 2 protons. Lithium, beryllium, 4. Boron, 5. Carbon, 6. Nitrogen, 7. Oxygen, 8. Fluorine, 9. Neon, 10. Again, coming back to the topic, we saw about diamond, graphite, and coal. I told you that diamond, graphite, and coal all are made up of carbon atoms, but we have difference in their arrangement. Am I right or no? So when they have difference in their arrangement, what can we understand from that? So they are not like, in the case of diamond, they are strongly bound with each other, the atoms. In the case of graphite, the atoms are not strongly bound with each other. So as they are not strongly bound with each other, it is very difficult for them to, it will be very soft. It's not nature. When they are strongly bound with each other, it will be very hard. So this is the basic difference between diamond, graphite, and your coal. Okay. So the arrangement of the atoms, all are made up of carbon, but the different arrangement of atoms gives the difference in the, will give the difference in their strength. Okay, so your diamond will be very strong and your graphite will be soft. Coal will also be soft. Clear? Now, again, coming back to the topic, we'll be seeing about atomic number. Atomic number is nothing but number of protons in an atom. These protons will have positive charge. Okay, and also in an atom always number of protons and number of electrons will be equal. Clear? So when they have same number of protons and same number of electrons, we say the atom is said to be neutral. Clear? Now, I told you if the atomic number of an atom is 1, then it has 1 proton. I told you in an atom, number of protons and number of electrons will be equal. So if an atom has 1 proton, the number of electron will also be equal to 1. Similarly, let me take the atomic number of another atom. If atomic number of another atom is 2, it will have 2 protons and 2 electrons. Clear? Similarly, I'm going to take another atom. If atomic number of an atom is 3, so the number of protons in an atom will also be equal to 3. And also the electrons in an atom equal to 3. Number of 3. Now from 3 the number of protons and electrons. So yes, the hydrogen, it's atom. So the number of protons it has, number of electrons it has will be. Similarly, let me take the next element, helium. Atom, the number of protons to lithium. The atomic number, the number of protons of electrons will also be 3. Next is my barium. Number of protons, so number of protons will be 4. Electrons will also be equal to 4. So we know about protons, electrons. Now what we have to do is, we have to know about the number of neutrons. So what do you mean by number of neutrons? What we are going to see now. Okay, yes. See here, I told you that in the center of the atom, I'm having proton. Am I right or not? So if you have protons and neutrons in the center of the atom, that can be easily decided with the help of your mass number. So mass number is nothing but it is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. Clear? So mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. Now, I told you that helium has atomic number 2. Clear? Its mass number is 4. Now, the number of protons here will be, if atomic number is 2, number of protons will be 2. If atomic number is 2, number of electrons will also be 2. What about the number of neutrons? That we have to know. Am I right or not? What did I say you now? The mass number, here the mass number is represented with the symbol A. Okay. So the mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. Am I right or not? So if mass number of an atom is 4, clear? And I already know the atomic number, it is 2. So number of neutrons will also be equal to 2. Clear? Just copy down this. See, listen. Atomic number of helium is 2. Mass number of helium is 4. What did I say you about mass number? Mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. Am I right or no? So here in the case, if you see, helium has 2 protons. Its mass number is 4. So the number of neutrons will be equal to 2. Clear? So shall we look at the next one? So for example, lithium. Okay. If you look at lithium, the atomic number of lithium is 3. Okay. And its mass number, if you see, it is 7. Okay. Atomic number of lithium is 3 and its mass number. We can easily say about number of protons. Protons and neutrons. Atomic number, I told you, is equal to number of protons and neutrons. If the atomic number of an atom, number of protons is also 1, number of electrons is 1. Similarly, if you take case of lithium, if atomic number is equal to 3, protons will also be equal to 3. Number of electrons will also be equal to 3. Clear? What about the number of neutrons? So number of neutrons we can easily decide. So number of neutrons can be decided from the mass number. What did I say about mass number? Mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. So if mass number of an atom is 7, it's 7. The number of protons here I have is 3. So the number of neutrons will be n is equal to this 3. If it goes the other side, 7 minus 3. It is 4. Clear? Let me take another example. So for example, boron. Okay. Atomic number is represented with the symbol Z. Mass number is represented with the symbol A. Atomic number of boron is 5. Mass number of boron is 10. Clear? Now, let me see about the number of protons. Protons, electrons, and neutrons. So as per that, if you see, if atomic number is 5, number of protons will be 5, and also my number of electrons. So take some time and tell me, you can tell it in chat, what will be the number of neutrons?
Student says 5.
Students are saying 5.
5.
Yes, students, it's very good. Number be equal to 5. Clear? It will be 5. Very good. So in this way, you can please say. So so for students who were not able to say, please listen again. I'll say. Now, atomic number, it was 5. Atomic number is 5. So the number of protons is 5, number of electrons was 5. Mass number is equal to, mass number is represented with the symbol A. That is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. And I know that mass number is equal to 10. So the number of protons is 5. So the number of neutrons will be equal to, number of neutron is equal to 5. 10 minus 5 will be 5. Understood? Yes. Another example we'll see. Now I'm going to make the question different. So let me take an example, carbon. The atomic number of carbon is 6. Now I'm not going to tell you the mass number. Okay. Now the number of protons is 6. Okay. You have to tell me about the number of electrons. And number of neutrons is 6. Now you have to tell me the mass number and the number of electrons. So first tell me what will be the mass number.
Ma'am, 12, mass number 12 and 6 electrons.
So how much it- Hello,
Yeah, ma'am.
hear me? Yeah.
Electrons 6
Okay, sir. Good. The answer was
and A is 12. Yeah.
Very good, very good. Whoever has said the answer, it's right. So we have seen that mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. Am I right or not? So number of protons, it is 6. Number of neutrons is 6. So the mass number is 12. Very good. So the mass number we have identified. And what about the number of electrons? Students, those who have not answered, it's easy. If you try again, listen again, you can easily understand. Okay. So if the number of proton is 6, number of electron will also be equal to 6. Clear? Number of protons and electrons equal. Hope you had fun. Now, I'm going to repeat it again. Whatever I said to you so far, I'm just going to summarize and I'll ask you a few more questions again. Okay? Yes. So first thing that I told you is an atom contains nucleus in the center. Inside the nucleus, you have protons and neutrons. Surrounding the nucleus, you have electrons. This is what we have seen. Yes. Now, it's very difficult for me to remember the number of protons, electrons, and neutrons. So I have come across two numbers. One is atomic number. And the other is mass number. Number is equal to number of proton atom. Mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. Clear? In an atom, the charge of proton is positive charge. Your atom is neutral. So, in an atom, so number of electron charge is negative charge. So, atom neutral atom number of positive charge negative charge equal. Clear? So, the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. Clear? Okay. The next thing that we saw is about mass number. Mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. Understood? Yes. Now, final example that I'm going to tell you is, I'm having an element called sodium. எப்பவுமே atomic number ஒரு elementல represent பண்ணும்போது baseல எழுதுவோம். இங்க atomic number எழுதுவோம். At the top, you will write your mass number. Clear? So, atomic number baseல எழுதுவோம். Mass number மேல எழுதுவோம். If the atomic number of sodium is 11. Okay, its mass number is 23. I already told you atomic number is equal to number of protons. So if atomic number is equal to 11, number of protons will be equal to 11. And the number of electrons will be, the number of protons and electrons in an atom will be equal. So if number of protons is equal to 11, number of electrons will also be equal to 11. What about the mass number? Mass number is equal to 23. Mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. So if mass number is 23, number of protons will be 11 and number of neutrons will be 23 minus 11, it will be 12. Clear? So this is the arrangement. So in an atom, here you have 11 protons, 11 electrons and 12 neutrons. Hope you all understood. So now I'm just going to give you the worksheet kind of fill up kind of thing. Just copy it down and we'll discuss the answers in the next class. Okay. So first just note down whatever I'm writing. Z means atomic number. A means mass number. Now you are going to fill the number of proton, electron and neutron. Just copy it down. So hope you all have copied. And going to the next page. If you have not copied, you can say in chat that you have not copied it. I'll wait. Yes, one said that he doesn't understand about orbit. No worries about orbit. It's about the structure of atom in a separate class. Just gave you an about the structure of about that in a separate class. Do not worry about it. Just note down whatever I have done now. I understood the concept of identity protons, electrons, and neutrons. So if you understood that concept, fine. If you do not understand that concept, you can say it in chat. I'll repeat it again. So I think now you are able to get the screen. Are all the students able to see the screen? Take your own time and copy. Yes. So I'm just going to give you a new page. Take a new page. Yes. So, and students, you can even take a screenshot if you know. If your parent is there, you can ask them to take a screenshot. If you do not know how to take a screenshot, just copy it down. Whichever is easier for you. Okay. And for page number 34. Now, the last one that I'm going to say you is neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon. So atomic number, mass number, number of proton, electron, neutron. Atomic number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Here the mass number will be 20, 23, 24, 27, 28. So these are the protons, electrons, and neutrons present. You are just going to fill it. Clear? So, and I also wanted you to identify the name of these elements. If people already know, good. So Na, you have to identify the name. It's an element. Mg, it's an element. Al, it's an element. Si, it's an element. I'll tell you once anyway. Sodium. Na means sodium. Mg means magnesium. Al means aluminium. Si means silicon. Okay. These are all the names of these elements. Just copy it down. And a student has asked a doubt stating that, ma'am, if இப்போ ஒரு atomல நிறைய ஒரு elementக்குள்ள நிறைய atom இருக்குமான்னு கேட்டிருக்காங்க. Yes. If you wanted to imagine, you can imagine about an element called gold. Gold is an element. If you see, gold is made up of gold particles. Gold particles are in turn made up of gold atoms. Like million, hexillion number of atoms. அவ்வளோ atoms. நிறைய atoms சேரும்போது தான் அந்த ஒரே ஒரு எலிமெண்ட் எனக்கு ஃபார்ம் ஆகும். ஒரு சின்ன பீஸ் ஆஃப் ஒரு பிஞ்ச் ஆஃப் இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இஃப் யூ ஹவ் டேக்கன் a pinch of gold, அதுல ஹெக்ஸிலியன் நம்பர்ஸ் நிறைய நீ இமேஜின் பண்ண முடியாத அளவுக்கு நிறைய ஆட்டம்ஸ் இருக்கும். புரியுதா? அப்போ ரொம்ப நிறைய ஆட்டம்ஸ் சேர்ந்தாதான் பெரிய கோல்ட் ஃபார்ம் ஆக முடியும். ஸோ எவ்வளவு ஆட்டம்ஸ் சேர்ந்தா எனக்கு ஒரு கிலோ கோல்ட் கிடைக்குங்கிறது we can easily calculate. But basically elements is made up of many atoms, but only one type of atom. If gold in எடுத்துட்டா gold is made up of only gold atom. If you take silver, silver is made up of only silver atoms. Sodium is made up of only sodium atom. Element is made up of only one type of atom, and the element is made up of only that atom. But the case is different with the case of your compound and mixture. Clear? Okay, F fluorine. The name is okay. I think everyone has copied one. Again, I'm elements: hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, nitrogen, neon, magnesium, aluminium, nickel. Clear? I wanted you to study this in the same. Okay. So next class when we meet, so I think you have 1 week of time for the next class. Before that, I wanted you to study at least first 20 elements. Know about the first 20 elements. You can also search in Google about the appearance of each element. Like in the beginning, I showed you few elements. Am I right or not? I showed you how the structure of sulfur looks like, how the structure of chlorine looks like, and how beryllium looks, how boron looks. Like certain elements are in solid state, certain are in gaseous state, and certain are in even liquid state. If you take an element called bromine, it will be in liquid state. Mercury yesterday I showed you, it was so they'll be in liquid state. Lot of elements. Okay, give importance for atomic number, but give more importance to know or discover about lot of elements, because all the entire universe is made up of this particular kind of element only. Okay, so just start reading about lot of elements, start to know about lot of elements, because all of us are made up of elements or atoms. So first we should know what are the atoms present around us. So start reading about it. Okay, all of a sudden you cannot study about all the 118 elements, but for now at least you can study the first 20 elements, I guess. Okay, and I have also seen students who are telling all the 118 elements in the order. There are students who have told 118 elements in 1 minute, in 30 seconds, 40 seconds. State students used to contest. So you can also start studying it if you have time and if you are interested. So let me see how many of you are coming back. Okay. Hope you all had fun today. Please share if you have any doubts, you can say it in the chat. Clear? And try to read about as many elements as possible. Okay. Thank you.